I am Doomsvince, and this is day 97 of Spawn Year.
Yesterday I wrote about self-absorption, impulsive rage, and ignored consequences. And in my own anger, I made my own horrific mistake, and I now face my own consequences. I threw my pen whose ink never runs out, into the open grave. I could have thrown it in any other direction. What was I thinking? That's the problem. Like Spawn, I wasn't thinking. I tried fishing the pin out of the grave with the shoelace, but it's too deep to reach. And also like Spawn, I'm not just risking my own future with stupid moves like that. Ever since it happened, I've had flashes of a horrible vision. My son growing up without his father, and me, buried alive. To relive over and over the moment where I chucked a comic book that was infuriating me into the open grave before I could finish and review it, and so the game was finished, and I was done for. I had no recourse but to continue on, writing in my own blood again, and I'm only grateful the price for my blind anger isn't higher than it is. What makes it worse is that it's not a Doomsvince plot. I didn't fall for any tricks or ignore any clues that were right there. This one's all on me. I have to get some perspective. These are only comic books. I am forced to make them my work while I'm here, but it's only a job, just something that must be done so I can go home. None of these people are real. Why does it offend me so much when Al Simmons shoots from the hip without thinking? Maybe now I'm seeing more of him in me than I ever wanted to admit before. Sam and Twitch find Cog in the alley this issue while searching for Spawn, and he reveals to them that Al is a spawn of hell. He says until he conquers his anger, Spawn will never have a chance of being a man again. I never expected to find much wisdom in a Spawn comic, especially the one right before the single most infuriating issue I've read, but thanks, Cog. That's true for me too. Let's see if I can get through this one without throwing anything where I can't get it back. Sam and Twitch go to the alleys because they want to know why Spawn strung Billy Kincaid up in their office back in number 5. They brought all this up last issue and I didn't comment on it because I had so much to say or scream about Al. Because they're trying to put all the pieces together about the late Chief Banks and the corruption that goes far above him, i.e. they don't know yet that it all links back to Jason Wynn, they want to know how Spawn fits in. But Sam also talks about how they have a score to settle with Spawn for getting them suspended back then. They've seen Spawn a few times since then. It's odd they've never thought to ask him about it before, especially when it was more relevant to the future of their careers. Beyond some usual cryptic conversation with Cog, who says that they're all interconnected, the rest of the issue follows Spawn stealthily, stealth, I couldn't believe it either, making his way into Jason Wynn's office to terrify him into leaving Wanda and Terry alone. Last entry, I said Spawn again planned to kill Wynn. I honestly thought that's what was going on. He told Terry he was going to make Wynn back away from them, or he'd burn Wynn's building to the ground. Perhaps in my intense aggravation, I jumped the gun a little, assuming he was going to just straight up try to kill him again, but the trouble is, his plan doesn't make much sense, and he's still putting Wanda in danger by pressing Wynn at all. Although, if I'd been Wynn, instead of kill me and I'll kill them, I might have said, if I ever see you again, the Fitzgeralds are dead. Problem solved. After a long play-by-play of every move Spawn makes getting to Wynn, disguising himself as one of Wynn's soldiers and plowing through all the real ones, he tells Wynn he's taken out his whole international network and that his reign of terror has ended. He says Wynn works for him now, and his new directive is keeping the Fitzgeralds safe. And as long as he does that, Spawn won't kill him. Okay, Spawn's just proven he can do about anything, and Wynn's basically screwed. He's not going to want to be subjected to Spawn, so Spawn's creating a desperate man. Besides his own life, which isn't worth anything to him without power, what does he have to lose? I am glad this went differently from how I expected. It's unusual to see Spawn with a real plan that actually has a little thought behind it, but it's still too risky. He had a stalemate with Wynn before. If they both left each other alone, Wanda would be safe. You can't hold Wynn to his word, but he'd have to know that as soon as he killed Wanda, Spawn would kill him. I'm also glad Al's face is already starting to deteriorate, though it's convenient it's happened just as Al tries to reveal his identity to Wynn. He'll have to face now that he can't force the life he wants on other people, and there hopefully will be real consequences to his actions, namely making an enemy of Terry, who he'll no doubt want to kiss and make up with once he realizes his face is gone, the only thing that made him stupidly think he could get Wanda back with. I do still think Spawn's behavior is reprehensible, and I doubt if he'll learn anything from any of this, but it could have all gone in a far more intolerable direction. It's unfortunate that sometimes that's what constitutes praise for an issue. Not quite as intolerable as I expected. But this was a more entertaining issue. It opens spelling out everything that's wrong with this book as a plot summary of the entire series so far. Since his startling return from the grave, Spawn has been moving aimlessly through each day, trying to find a direction he can justify once he gets beyond that moment's rage. Now, for the first time in a while, there is a distinct purpose to his actions. A plan. Oh yeah, that'll get new readers to go back and read the first 62 issues. At least thanks to Greg Capullo, the book still looks gorgeous. Except there's one narration box I don't know how anyone is expected to read. Well, I made it through, and I haven't ruined my life any further today. Guess I'd better rest up for more blood draining tomorrow. Signed, Captain Logan.